Today's presentation, how to triple your website profits in 1 week without doing anything differently. You'll just need to do 3 things to put it in motion. And the best part is that it will take just 1 hour of your time after watching this presentation. What are the requirements? Okay, 3 things. 1, your website already gets at least a little traffic. It doesn't have to get much at all, just a little traffic, something. There are some people who come. So paid or free traffic. You might not even know if they're coming necessarily because they may not be reaching out to you, but they come, they look, maybe they go. That's the first requirement. The second one, you do business with U.S. consumers. Okay, it's a little different than business to business. Businesses offering business things. This particular thing that we're doing right here is about business to U.S. consumers. Okay. Now, finally, you or your webmaster can add a code snippet to your site, which is the only thing you need to do. You sort of plug into our system with that code snippet, and then we take care of everything from there. So, do you meet those requirements? If so, great. This will work for you. Now, let's review the results you'll get. These are the results. You'll get about 10 times as many real-time leads. Okay, you'll make about 3 times as much profit, and you won't work any harder. If that sounds like a good fit, if you meet those requirements and you like the results, stay with us until the end of this presentation. Okay, so a little bit about me, right? Who am I? I'm Dave Bennett. Hi. I've made hundreds of thousands of websites for clients. We do websites for large companies. We do websites for individuals just starting out on the internet. We do websites for everyone in between. Okay. I've got 12 years of website marketing expertise, and we know a lot. We've made systems so large that we can do hundreds of tests at once. So where the traditional company tests one thing at a time, we don't. We test hundreds of things at a time, sometimes thousands of things at a time, and we're able to get answers extremely fast as a direct result. Okay, I've created a mass optimized web page generation, often referred to as MoG. We created it, and these days you can actually find it in online dictionaries. It is the most commonly used form of that abbreviation, and it's in the dictionary now. So it's been around a long time. All right. And I work with clients of all sizes, like I said, in any industry or profession, so we can help you no matter what. If you're an MLM program owner, or if you're a brick and mortar company, anybody who has a presence in pretty much any industry, you know, whether you're an optometrist or a plumber or a chiropractor, whether you dabble in selling exercise machines online or fitness programs, if you're a coach or a trainer, if you have a site on Amazon, if you have a site on Shopify, there are things we can do for you. All right, so what can I do for you? I can make your website more profitable fast. So if you're ready to get started, let's do it. Okay, let's think about your website for a minute. And the idea is to think about what does it take to increase web traffic, right? So your website, first of all, gets more daily traffic than you know, right? Or than you notice. Okay, this is very important and it's often overlooked. Most people don't follow their daily stat tracking. They don't really know how many visitors came to their website. They just wait to be contacted. So if you don't know how much traffic comes to your website, you really don't know. You hear from a guy, they call you, they email you, they buy your thing or join your newsletter, and you often think, oh, that's the only guy who came to my website today. No, there's often many, many more guys at the time who came to your website. So be aware that more people visit your site and just leave than you know. Okay. You only hear, as a matter of fact, from about 3% of your daily website visitors. Okay, that's a statistic in the industry. 97% of the people who come to your website leave. They just leave. Okay, it's a statistic in the industry. It's very common. Some of you guys have dialed in better conversion rates. Maybe you're hearing from about 4% of your visitors, or maybe even 5%. But usually that's about it. Okay, the other 97% of your visitors leave and they don't say goodbye. They just leave. You don't really have any sign that they came. So for every 100 people who visit your website, only 3 people buy anything or sign up or join your newsletter or even contact you. Okay? The other 97% just leave every day. They don't tell you why. And of course, it's not your fault. This is true for almost every website owner out there. And you know it's true because you do the same thing yourself. You visit websites, yet often you don't buy anything and you don't sign up for anything. You just leave, right? So let's get back to your website. 97% of your visitors don't buy anything. And what if you're paying for ads to bring those visitors to your site? Let's say you're paying $2 a click. And if you pay for 100 clicks, that means you're paying $200 for just 3 conversions, right? You paid $200 to get 100 people to your site and you heard from 3% of them. So that'd be 3 conversions. So your sales or your conversions, whatever they are, if people join your newsletter or sign up for your thing, that costs you about $66 each. Those important actions that you wanted, those conversions, cost you about $66 each in a case like this where you're paying $2 a click. Okay, and that's the very problem. Most people leave your website without saying goodbye, and so it's totally costly, especially if you pay for ads. It cuts deep into your profits because guess what? You already have to build in $66 in marketing costs just for those 3 guys. It's $22 per guy above whatever you would want to sell your item for. Okay, you just got to account for that, and that's expensive. So the real winners in this are the ones who sell you the ads, right? Because they'll make money even when 97% of those visitors never contact you at all. So why does 97% leave your site every day? Well, different reasons. For some of them, it's like this. They didn't immediately see what they were looking for. How often do you come to a website, maybe you're looking for landscaping rocks for your pool, and you see a landscaping website, you click on it, and I'm talking about the big rocks that somebody can deliver and set around your pool. Rocks so big people can sit on them, lean against them, right? And you want to buy one or another, maybe granite, maybe something else. And so you hit somebody's landscaping website, and you glance it over, and you don't see anything about landscaping rocks, so what do? You hit the back button, don't you? Because now you're going to go to the next landscaping site down and hit that link to see if you see it, right? People don't read and read and read everything you have on your site. So if they don't see what they're looking for right away, they go. That's usually about half of those 97%. That's what I mean by that 50% over there, that about half of those guys who leave left because they didn't immediately see what they were looking for. Okay. They're actually critical of your offer. A lot of us think that's why people leave our site. No, it's like 1%. How often do you go to a website, kind of look around and leave, and usually you don't get it or do it, but were you critical of them? Like if you did not see the landscaping rocks, would you be critical of them? No, you just figure maybe they don't sell landscaping rocks. You could call them to double check, but if you didn't see it, you just kind of shrug and move on, right? How often do you look at somebody's offer and think, not for me? That doesn't mean you're critical of the offer. It just means you think, not for me. So what about this? They cannot afford your deal. Or maybe they didn't see your coupon. And you know what I mean by that. Maybe you publish a coupon on the site or say there's a special going on right now. Or if they call you and you offer, then they can't buy at that level. So you offer them a drop, right? Your coupon. And so you're always trying to get them, the makeup or the back end is that coupon option, right? Well, if they didn't see it, if they couldn't afford it, then they might just walk off because they think, I don't want to spend the money or I can't. That's usually about 25% of the guys who leave your site each day. Okay. Otherwise, they just got distracted by live family, noise in the background, phone, different thoughts they had. Somebody calls them to dinner. Somebody says, hey, Dad, where's my whatever it is, and so that's about a quarter of the guys, more or less, who go. And that's my point. I'm just saying 50%, 1%, 25%, 24%. Yeah, the numbers can change a little, but I think you get the point. If they didn't see what they were looking for, if they got distracted by live family noise, if they can't afford your deal and didn't see your coupon, or if they're actually critical of your offer, which is like 1% of them, then off they go. And that's most of the people who come to your website every day. Okay, so what if you could reach them again? The guys who left, those 97% who left. What if you could reach back out and tag them again? Okay. What about like the didn't see what they were looking for group at the 50%? Well, what would you do? You would take them to the best options or personally ask them to call you so you can talk them through it, right? Consultation, say. All right. That way you can show them that you do have what they were looking for. Okay. If you could reach back out to them, that's how your approach would go, right? Well, you could recover like 25% of that group or more. All right. What about the guys who are actually critical of your offer? Skip these guys. No need to waste your breath arguing with this 1% category. Because remember, the idea is not to work harder, and trying to talk critical guys through what you have and why it's great is going to be a very hard thing to do anyway. So let's not even bother. It's too few people to worry about. What about the guys who can't afford your deal or didn't see your coupon, right? Well, you can offer them a coupon or a discount or show them your payment plan. So you can recover a good third of that group, basically, right? Most of the guys who didn't see your coupon or it seemed a little high, if you call and you talk them through it or you offer them the drop, there's going to be a chunk of them, a percentage of them, who are going to connect with that. And you know all of these things that you see because when you do get a chance to see these groups, right, to reach back out to these guys, this is kind of how it goes, isn't it? This is normal business. Nothing's new. So what about the guys who got distracted by life, wife, kids, noise, phone, and thoughts? Invite them back, ask how you can help, repitch your offer, etc. Right? So you can recover a good 20% or more of that group. All right? So just letting you know, the guys who left, they didn't leave because they were critical. Like 1% of them was critical. 99% of them, they just didn't see what they were looking for. They got distracted or they couldn't pay the full price or weren't sure to pay the full price. So if you could reach back out to that 97% who left each day, right? Then you can walk through a large chunk of those guys and get a lot more sales. Okay, so the only question is, can you reach out to more of the leads who already came and left? And if so, walk them through your sales. All right, so if you already have enough guys coming to your website to at least triple your daily sales, even if you're not communicating with enough of them yet, since you already have enough of those guys coming to your website, you don't need to pay for greater daily visitors from scratch, right? Why? If you're only getting 3% conversions out of 100 people who come to your site, or 200 people mean 6 guys convert, 2,000 people mean maybe 60 guys convert, why do you spend more money to get more thousands of people or hundreds of people to your website if you can actually work on maximizing the conversations and the sales from the guys who are hitting right now, okay? So there are just 3 ways to maximize your current leads, okay? Let's go through them. Okay, option 1, you can hire market researchers, right? And option 2, you could test, tweak, rewrite, and pull your guys. Or option 3, you can use the same shortcut that the biggest competitors in every industry are using right now to secretly have an unfair advantage over you. There is that. So let's quickly compare those options. Number 1, hire market researchers. Okay. The pros of that, pros and cons, right? The pros, you can increase your conversions to 5% or 8%. And therefore you can get more profitability. In other words, they can help you rethink what you put on your page, the rearrangement of items on your pages, bringing things out on your menu, having a more clear link and a better image. They can watch the results and see how that's going and tweak, and get you there, right? But the cons is usually there's a high upfront cost. It takes 2 to 3 months to get any results. Lots of personal time gets involved. You have to talk with them about the reasons people are buying from you. Why? Because you strike them as honest, because you're passionate, or because your offer's the elite option or the wholesale option, or the option that comes with a certain advantage that most of the other guys aren't offering. Do you know what one of the biggest things you need on an orthodontist website is, if you ever make one for an orthodontist? You need to put, fast, easy, flexible financing options available. Okay, we have easy, flexible financing options. Now, if you didn't know that, you wouldn't make the whole website without pointing that out, and you would be at a disadvantage because people will key on that with your competitors and won't see it on your site, right? So that's what I mean. The market researchers are going to have a lot of questions for you to figure out how to dial in better conversions on your website. And you would need to keep rearranging your site layout and testing headlines, openers, offers, and everything else. Okay, so, it's definitely not your preferred option, right? What's next? Okay, you could test, tweak, rewrite, and pull yourself, right? The pros are that's much cheaper. Just pay your webmaster or do these tests yourself. Since you know your business, tests come to mind fast. What if you change that headline? What if you put a link to the special offer over here? You can figure that out faster than the market researcher who doesn't know your business. Okay. The cons, though, you need to keep rearranging your site layout and testing headlines and openers and offers, etc. You're going to put in a lot of time, 1 to 3 months or so, to get real results. And not only that, chances are good you're going to lose some of your conversions on the way, right? Because sometimes when you test and tweak and rewrite, you have less of an impact when you thought you were going to have more. Okay, so that's also better, but still not preferred. What's next? Option 3 is take the shortcut. Okay, this is a secret that only top industry leaders know anything about. It's been a secret for years, and they definitely don't want you to know about it because it makes you instantly more competitive. You'll just be more profitable without doing anything differently. So let's cover that because this is why you're here. Okay, this is the shortcut. Install a code snippet that identifies your visitors. Like literally says, that guy who landed on your webpage a few seconds ago, maybe he didn't fill in a contact form or anything, but guess what? We know his name, first name and last name, know his email, know his address, city, state, and zip. And we'll decide what to do with those new leads. Okay? So, step 1, how do we do it? Install a code snippet. You or your webmaster will just take about 15 minutes to log into the website, decide where to put the code snippet, paste it in there, save the change, and that's it. Really, that's it. That's all the work. Okay? That's what I meant by you're not going to work harder. You just do these steps. Okay? 3 steps. That's step 1. Don't worry, the code snippet's invisible like Google Analytics. No one will see it. It's for visitor tracking, but with a huge benefit. Okay? You know what an IP address is, right? Every single desktop, computer, laptop, tablet, mobile phone has a unique IP address. IP addresses trace back to people or businesses. Okay? This code snippet looks at the IP address of the visitor and checks to see if we can figure out who they are. Okay? For example, you visit uber.com on your phone and create an account using an email address. Now uber.com can match your IP address to that email address. So now they recognize you whenever you visit, even if you don't actually log in. And they can match that to a backup email if you provide one, which means they can match both of those emails to that IP address. And so now, what if you log into uber.com on your home computer? Before we said you logged in with your mobile phone, right? You created an account, maybe put a backup email address. It might be your wife's email address or your oldest son's email address or somebody's, or just one of your other email addresses that you commonly use, your work email address, your home email address, whatever it is. Then you guessed it. Uber.com now knows that that's a match. So it can match both of those email addresses to either of those devices you use by the IP address. This means the next time you visit their website, you don't even have to log in for them to know it's you. Whether you log in on your mobile phone or your home computer, they know it's you. Ever see those notices about accept our cookies? You've probably seen these, right? On a bunch of the websites you visit. Because guess what? It's not just Uber. All major US companies have hopped on this bandwagon. Okay? They track their visitors. So this whole thing that you see on a website, like this website uses third-party cookies in order to serve you relevant ads and other websites or whatever, accept our cookies. Do you accept our cookies? And you can hit the button that says yes or got it or whatever it is, right? You've probably seen these. These cookies notes look official enough that you sort of feel like you should click the button that says yes or no, right? But it doesn't matter if you accept it. Ever notice that very often you can still browse around the website anyway, whether you accept it or not? Like they're not stopping you from browsing the website? Clicking it just proves you're human, not a bot. Okay? Proving you're human means that they treat your information more seriously. If you're a bot visiting the site, there are a lot of bots that visit sites and a lot of humans that visit sites. If you're a bot, no one wants to spend their time and effort reaching out to see if they can get your interest because you're a bot. But if you're a human, see, clicking it proves you're a human and that you take an action. You'll click the button that's shown to you. That's huge, right? Now companies realize you're reading, you're paying attention, you saw it, you clicked on it, you're interactive. So now they're going to treat your information more seriously. Okay, their notes say that you're responsive. And that's true when you visit other websites. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, even Target, right? They share their notes about you with each other into a single massive database that they all have access to. All major corporations usually with website presences. And therefore, they each reference that database in real time for every visitor they get with a different IP address. So anybody who does business to consumer style selling, they might also do business to business, but if they do sell to US consumers, then yeah, they want access to that database. Wouldn't you imagine? Because like really, how many IP addresses do you think Facebook can identify because somebody has an account on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter? What if they're all sharing their information? Well, then they can compare their information. How many different emails and backup emails and, related IPs come up for the same email? That means the guy has a different computer, laptop, phone, right? Okay. This is the secret that industry leaders have shared for years. They have instant access to a massive list of US personal IP addresses that's growing every day. And if you visit any of their websites, they usually figure out who you are in just 10 to 15 seconds, okay? Even though you didn't reach out to them. So just to backtrack, say you have an account on Facebook, but not LinkedIn, okay? Then when you visit Facebook for the first time, they can check in that database and discover who you are because LinkedIn publishes that information into the database that they all share, right? So Facebook's still going to try to talk you into starting an account, which you may or you may not, right? But they got the information on who you were from the database even before you reach out or sign up for Facebook or anything like that, okay? Okay. So if they know who you are, they have the right to reach out to you by email, either directly or through a partner. Now, why would that be? Because their cookie policy allows the right for them and their partners or their partners to contact you by email or phone or postal mail until you choose to opt out or unsubscribe. Do they always email you if they know who you are? No, at least not directly. But while they might not reach out to you directly, have you ever started coincidentally seeing ads or offers or getting emails for something similar to what you were just recently searching for? Yeah, and this is why. Because they're treating you carefully as a hot prospect. See, it's one thing if you visit a website and then they just email you and try to hit your attention up real fast. That can work. It can work in certain cases better than others, but they may do it differently. So we'll go through some of that. There are different ways to deal with that. But first, let's talk about this. Why are you a hot prospect? It's because you took an action to visit their website and you're looking for something they offer. They know what you're interested in right now. So, yeah, you're a hot prospect. You will either buy it from them or from a competitor, so they have to recapture your attention fast or lose you. So they contact you or instantly share your info with partners who can reach out to you. Either way. By now you're probably thinking, it's good to be the king. And you know their secret. When you visit any of their websites, no matter what link you clicked on to get there, or even if you just typed it from memory, within seconds, they might discover your name, your email, and your postal address, whether you give it to them or not. Now they can email you their best offers. So what if you had that much power? What if you know who visits your website and which page or topic they landed on, where they came from, and you get that information in real time while they're still on your website? Remember how we said, think about your website for a minute? This is where you realize you're thinking about your website this way. The same traffic comes to your website, but this time you can find out who a lot of those people are. Not necessarily all of them, but you'll find out who a bunch are. So if there was a way you could reach back out to them, and there are different ways to do it that are all good, right? That's just strategy. And then we'll talk about the legality of it shortly too. Don't worry, I'm getting to that. Believe it or not, it's perfectly legal in the US. I'll cover that stuff soon. Then the fact of the matter is, you can reach back out to a number of those guys and recapture their attention. Now, this is the moment where some of you guys revert for a moment and think, oh, they're going to be so angry with me for reaching out to them. No, they won't. That's because you're picturing that they left because they were a critic of your website. No, they just didn't find what they were looking for. They got distracted. If you reach out to them in real time, you're often going to catch them in a great mood. Matter of fact, it's 0.1? It's like 1 in 1,000 people actually complain when this is done. If it's just done sensibly, if somebody's using simple, good strategy for this. Okay. But wouldn't you consider those guys who landed on your site your hottest prospects? Yeah, yes. So the secret is that you have the same right that top industry leaders have to uncover the leads who visit your website in real time. You get to choose what to do with those leads from the list below. I know I typed, by the way, in the yellow. You can choose what we do with your leads from the list below. That's because some of you guys are going to want us to do the work. And some of you guys are going to want to do it yourself. It's fine either way. Okay. But let's take a look at this list, okay? We, or you, can automatically email them in real time to thank them for their visit, right? Like literally, you can have an email arrive in their email, even if they're still on your website, thanking them for their visit to your website, asking how you can be of assistance. If they found what they were looking for, give you a call anytime. You can help them with their best option. By the way, here's a link to your coupon. You can do that. And in the US, it's legal. I'll get to this stuff soon. But what else can you do? You could do a different approach. You could reach out to them coincidentally to recommend your website. You could do it in a different way. So you could literally have a second website, like we have thousands of websites. So we have partner websites, affiliate websites, fan-based websites, referrer websites that all can contact your leads on your behalf and recommend you. Okay? And we'll just, say you're selling RVs and somebody visited your website and they're not buying one, they haven't called you, they haven't chosen to yet, they can get an email from us, say, hey, if you're looking for an RV these days, we recommend somebody in your area. This is the guy that you should talk to. And we'll just, send that. It's okay. So you could add them to your email list as a single opt-in and email them naturally. By the way, that's one point. I'll get to that more, but that's this. In the US, as long as you have a privacy or terms link in the footer of your website that just has a link and you add a simple paragraph to that page that says what you do about the cookie policy. It says, IR partners might reach out to you. Then the reality check is in the US. If somebody living in the US visits your website, they are a single opt-in. It's as though you go to the farmer market and you walk by somebody's table and you kind of look down at what they have. Maybe their, tomatoes and their cucumbers and their squash and their eggplant. And somebody says, hi, our tomatoes are really good today. And they hold one up and show it to you. They're reaching out and talking to you because you made the first move. You stepped up to them, their table. Now, the same person who shows you the tomato and says that they have fresh tomatoes is not going to go to your neighborhood and knock on your door to offer you the tomatoes, okay? That's kind of how spam is. Spam is uninvited, unintended. There's no relationship there at all. There's no reason that you have for offering them a tomato. You have no reason to believe that they are interested in your tomatoes. Maybe they're allergic to tomatoes. So that's why nobody goes through the neighborhoods offering it from the farmer market. But when you walk up to their stand at the farmer market, they can try to engage you. And even after you start to walk away, they can try to reach back out to you. They might call a little to see if they can get you back, right? Now, they're not going to scream at you. But if you walk further away, check some other stuff out. And then when you're walking back through, if they recognize you, they might say, oh, by the way, don't forget, we have really fresh tomatoes. You walk by the other way, right? That's perfectly legitimate. So just keeping that in mind. All right. Now, you could also do what? You could take the information that you're getting for the types of people who visit your website, and you can use that to create a custom audience, a lookalike audience for your Facebook ads. So if you upload a stack of emails, you're telling Facebook this, hey, don't contact these guys, but anytime you see anyone who has similar interests to the average interest from this list I'm uploading, okay, if they're looking for something like what I do, right, then reach out. If they're in my area or if it's nationwide, if they're interested in what I'm doing, if they're looking at dental, anything, and they're in my area, reach out to them. And that means not the guys who came to your website, not those emails, but anyone on Facebook who's similar to them. What's that mean? Facebook knows so much about everyone based on what they thumb up and what they thumb down, what they flip past and what they fully watch or partially watch, right? Facebook puts scores on what people are interested in. Now, all websites do that. They track, even when you scroll down on a web page, there are code snippets that allow people to capture that information of who scrolls to where and stops so that they can be labeled as interested in X, Y, or Z, okay? And those combinations are used to build what people are interested in right now, okay? So you can trigger an ad to show for those guys right away, or guys like them, because there are a bunch of other guys who are thumbing things up the same way, thumbing things down the same way, stopping on the same types of ads, okay? So that means this. Even if you're just capturing the emails on your website to reach out through Facebook ads, to average people like them, you can do that with your leads, okay? Totally different concept of what you can do with your leads, okay? You could sell or share those leads with your partners, your affiliates, or marketers in general, right? Leads are worth a lot, especially when they're incredibly fresh. So if you just set up some deals with some partners and say, hey, anybody who comes to my website, I capture their information, they leave, they don't join my thing, I'll sell you that lead, for $30, right? $25, $40. It depends. Every industry is different. Pest control. Those guys usually will pay like $25 on the spot for a lead. If somebody has a mouse infestation right now in their house, you see a mouse run through the kitchen right now, especially a lady. I'm just having fun with it. If that's true, that the mouse runs through the house and they are interested in calling a pest control guy right away and you can't do it, you're a pest control guy, but you're busy, you could sell that lead to another pest control guy who can engage him, reach out to him and say, hey, right? Another pest control guy would pay you $25 for that referral, right? Well, what do you think leads like this are worth to other companies in your area? So even if you're just in the business of gathering leads this way, all right, you could send these leads to your sales team so that they can call those prospects now. Say you're in real estate, right? Then you can actually give these leads to the real estate agents who call those prospects now, right? And they will. Any blip on the radar screen, and those guys will take off with it. They'll call and talk coincidentally about, hey, are you in the market to buy a home? Have you been looking at buying a home recently? They'll literally just check, okay? Now, I've had some people say, that must be annoying. The answer is, of course it's not. First of all, it's just the one guy who's calling them, not 5, not 10. You're not selling the leads to 5 or 10 people. You're giving them to the one guy who's going to be assigned that lead, or you're reaching out to the one guy yourself, okay? But you can stagger when you contact them, and you're not giving anyone else access except whoever you chose to give access to, right? So think about this. How annoying would it be? Well, you may have done this before. Have you ever called one of those or landed on a website and said, hey, I'm looking to buy a car. I don't know which dealership has a car like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, who knows, an SUV, seats 5 people. I want leather, don't really want vinyl. Hope it has a 6 CD disc changer, and you put your stipulations. It can be anywhere from 15,000 to 50,000 miles on the odometer. We can talk at that point. My price point is somewhere between here and here. Okay. And so you fill the form out, right? And what happens? Immediately you get some calls from guys who say, hey, you know what? We have what you're looking for at our lot. You know what? Those calls are great, aren't they? It speaks of promise. It's speaking of what you're looking for. It's like the rainbow, right? Just came out. When you get 2 or 3 guys that call and say, yeah, I've got a Honda CRV that fits your description. I got a Toyota RAV that fits your description, or whatever it is. And you're thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. Then you know how it goes. Those 2 or 3 stops you're going to make, you were happy they contacted you. And you're probably going to come home with a car that day. Because you know how auto dealerships are for getting you sold into one. It happens pretty quick, right? Now what? What if somebody called you the next day? That's different, isn't it? That's really, really different. They call you the next day, and mostly you just feel sad for them, right? Like, oh, you should talk to whoever's giving you the leads. You're late. I mean, I bought a car yesterday. All I can say is sorry. Sorry. And you'd be just thinking, oh, you poor guy, right? Well, what if a guy called you a day or 2 after that? Then you'd be thinking, hey, you know what? That's kind of irritating. I'm not looking for a car. I got a car like eons ago, Monday. So timeliness has everything to do with profitability. When you can contact guys as fast as they come and take a look and they're thinking about you, right? That is important. So whether you take the lead on, or you give the lead to a sales team member, or you sell the lead instantly to somebody else, they're buying leads from you, because you can set up a simple program and say, hey, you'll just pay by the week for every lead that I get into your email, your newsletter, right? That contacts them on your behalf. And yes, we can set that up for anyone. We can set that up for you. Okay. So you get to be the king, right? You get to be the king. Oh, by the way, I had somebody ask, and yes, think about it this way. What if you have a franchise nationwide? I'm going to go that far. And you have a downline that handles nationwide sales, or they handle sales in their own areas or whatever. Take the emails that you're picking up from your Facebook ads, and you can do that you're picking up, you can do 2 things with them for sure. You can give a copy to each of your franchisees. You can even put the code snippet on all their sites to capture on their behalves. And also, you can take all the emails you're getting from all those sites and put them up through the Facebook ads, and give that same list to each of those guys and tell them to put it in their own Facebook ads, right? So that all your guys can have their ads popping up over and over again. You get a lot of branding, a lot of recognition out of this on big platforms like Facebook, like LinkedIn, like whoever else allows look-alike audiences based on emails. See the value in that? All right, so we have the power to make your website 3 times more profitable in the coming week. Because the moment you install our coding snippet and we get you set up, then boom, right then and there, we're capturing email addresses in real time. This is literally overnight, okay? So what you're going to do with those guys is up to you. Now, we're going to talk about that as we go. So let's recap first. You add an invisible code snippet to your site. we can have your leads automatically added into an autoresponder that will contact them on your behalf in real time. And we'll send them your best offer or your welcome message, right? So we'll set this thing up. You can see how fast this gets set up. You're just talking about a couple of days, like 3 days totally, right? Get this code snippet. We'll set up the autoresponder. This will happen overnight. You just write something up as a quick little quip to offer to people who first come to your site. Then you're basically just telling us if you want that, to come like it's straight through you or coincidentally, but it's up to you. You can make those notes when you send us a message. Some of those visitors are going to come back to your website to call, email, or buy from you. That's it. That's how you get a lot more profitable. See, those first 3 things here, you do it once. And then day after day after day after day after day, okay, some of those visitors, each day, all those extra visitors are coming back to your website to call, email, or buy from you. This is how you make your website a lot more profitable with the exact same traffic curves. So this is how you'll get more sales with no extra work. The same 3% who come each day buy from you anyway. But for the 97% remainder, we can identify some of them, not all of them, right? But probably 25 to 30% of them. 30% instead of just 3% is 10 times your leads instantly. Those leads are instantly added into our autoresponder. And your best offer, your welcome message is sent to them right away, right? Pitching you. 40 to 50% can come back to your website, and some of those guys are going to convert. This is how you can make 3 times the profits with no extra work. Okay? Call it tweaking for perfection. Instead of trying to make lots of changes to your website to hopefully get more leads to respond, what if you already capture their contact info and you can preemptively contact them anyway? If all you have to do is just work on perfecting your welcome message because you already capture those leads, wouldn't it be easy to improve your conversions? Definitely. It's why all the big companies are doing it. It's why they built that massive nationwide database in the first place that systems can plug into, develop scripts from through APIs, and start setting them up. And this is what we're offering you, which is not usually being offered to you by those big companies. They don't want you to know. Let's talk dollars and cents. We got this far. It's got to make a lot of sense. Obviously, whatever the cost is for getting your traffic is whatever it is for getting your traffic, but being able to multiply the effect you get from that, just simply through a simple process like this that doesn't take you extra time, obviously worth it. All right, so let's talk dollars and cents. How much does lead identification cost? After all, we've got to identify these leads. There's work being done. There's a payment that's got to get made in there. What's that cost? And how much for lookups that are not identified? What about all those guys who we cannot identify? How much does that cost? Okay. And how much to contact each lead instantly, right? Just to be able to reach out and contact them immediately, like while they're still on the site even. Okay. What about duplicate leads? In other words, we figured out who the guy was already in the first step. What if that guy comes back a week later? Is there another charge? Okay. And what if you have recurring established clients, right, who are going to come back to your site over and over again? Are you going to be paying for those guys who you already have? Okay. You're the cost for this system. Part 1. Most channels sell general leads at $5 to $40 each, right? You know that, right? Now with us, each new lead costs just 84 cents per lead. Doesn't matter what your industry is, pest control, roofer, dentist, doctor, lawyer, MLM, Amazon, Shopify, doesn't matter. Wherever it is, we're going to figure it out. Okay? And it's going to be 84 cents a lead. And remember, these leads came to your website just now. They are hot leads. Okay? Now, cost for the system number 2. Duplicate leads cost nothing. You'll never be charged for a second, third, fourth visit by the same identified visitor, even if we identify them after looking up their different IP address, whether a computer, laptop, tablet, or phone. Once we figure out who they are by their email, that's it. You're never going to pay for that again. Okay? That means only 84 cents per acquired, and you'll get this combination, email, name, and address, for each website visitor you have in real time. Okay? And like I said, we can either send you the list or we can automatically upload these things into an email autoresponder that reaches out with your welcome message and just contacts them automatically. You don't have to think about their emails, names, and addresses because they're being attended to behind the scenes. Okay? That way, can you imagine? Right now, it's invisible to you, but people come to your website and leave and you have no idea who they are. You know what else is going to be invisible? People come to your website, leave, see the email, come back, and call you, and only then do they become visible again. Isn't that neat? Whole thing can happen without you doing any extra work. You focus on your business. We'll take care of the guys who leave your website. Bring them back. The use of our autoresponder up to your first 2,000 leads costs nothing. That means we'll contact those guys as fast as they arrive on your website for no cost. Beyond 2,000 leads, the autoresponder is just $19 a month. No problem, right? I mean, if you're going to put money into more advertising, $19 a month takes care of contacting them all. Okay, so you can send us your current email list. This is another part, and we'll block them from lookup charges. In other words, if you have 37,000 emails on an email list and you don't want to pay 84 cents for a bunch of them who come back to your website, you don't have to. You send us that email list and we'll block it from lookup charges. Okay? Pretty cool, right? But even better, the additional details. There's always going to be additional details. What are they? Emailing new U.S. consumer website visitors is legal in the U.S. That means anyone in the U.S. who visits your website, right, then as long as you have that little bit of paragraph snippet that we'll send you, stuck in a terms link or a privacy policy link, disclaimer, anything, footer of your website, link to a page that says all the stuff it says already about you, okay, but it just puts that point in there. Okay, I mean, you could even stick it in the bottom of an About Us page if it made sense, right? We only handle U.S. consumers. What's that mean? That means that, say you have visitors come to you from Canada or the UK or India or Bangladesh or who knows where. No problem. There will never be a charge for any of those guys. We're not even going to try to look them up. We only handle U.S. consumers. This is why you want to do business with U.S. consumers for this process. Okay? We ensure your messages are CAN spam compliant. And now you're starting to realize that they're going to be CAN spam compliant. They're targeted to single opt-in visitors, guys who came to your website, are interested in what you offer. And because we're going through this right kind of aggregated database, then what it does is prove beyond a reasonable doubt who the person is. They only work with the matches they get for all the different IP addresses. You could have different guys go to a public library and log into Facebook from there. Well, what Facebook's going to realize is lots of emails for guys coming from a common IP address means the IP address is a public place. So it is dismissed, right? There's no high degree of certainty that that's really Bob Smith, right? Because too many guys are using it, right? So that database is legitimate for being able to use as a resource for this process. And this is legitimate. This is the same database that all the big companies use in the same ways that we're making available to you. Your messages are not even classifiable as spam. No emails from other countries other than the US, like I said before. It's only for guys in the US. Your leads are never shared with your competitors, okay? When you're coming through us, it's exclusive. It's not like your system's reaching out and 4 or 5 guys right next to you are also reaching out. We only work with one guy in each location for each thing, right? So that we don't have this problem of somebody getting confused when they get contacted by multiple companies. We don't want that to happen. Okay? We want you to be able to have their undivided attention for the period of time that they're interested. Okay. You pay in capped package sizes for budget control. That means simple packages, monthly packages, a subscription, okay? And you pay at the level that benefits you. So we'll go through that. Let's compare the real value versus lead costs. Okay, first tab for that. So do you ever get home advisor leads? You know, most of you guys with brick and mortar who do services for homes wind up in home advisor or going there for leads, right? And that can be painful. Most of the time when we talk and when we ask people if they're in home advisor, they're not happily in home advisor. They're doing it because they must, okay? So they're paying whatever they're paying per lead, but those leads are shared with 3 to 5 competitors at the same time. Okay? So you're stuck rushing to be the first competitor to contact each client manually, right? And still expect a bidding war, since most leads want to compare the offers from the first 2 to 3 competitors who call. So that's horrible, right? That's what people are used to with paying for leads. They're used to that stupid bidding war. All right, Google Ads. Yeah, you're going to pay whatever it is per lead for leads who click to your website. And these leads are not always humans. Many are bots. There's always click fraud to pay for. And if some of those leads come back tomorrow, the day after, or the next week, you pay again and again for the same person or bot who clicks your ad. Okay? So before, let's talk about lead cost averaging, because you're going to average down. Before, assuming you use Google's or YouTube's pay-per-click advertising method and you pay just $2 a lead with a 3% conversion, $2 a lead for 3% conversations, let's say, is $66 per conversion or conversation for each sale, each sign up, etc. Well, that's what we're already used to before. So what's it going to be like after you get our program going? Now it's $2 a lead from Google Ads still, right? Like before, you've got to get the traffic in however you got them in. So if you're paying for ads, you're paying for ads. If you're not paying for ads, you're not paying for ads. So don't include that, right? But if you are, then whatever it is, you're going to pay for your Google Ads plus 84 cents per lead identification, right? For new leads only. And nothing for instant new lead outreach by the autoresponder. Okay, so that's $2.84 per lead for 30% conversations instead of only 3%. Okay, so instead of being like $66 per conversion, we're talking about $9.50 per conversion. You know, sales, sign up, etc. Okay, so think about it. It's 3% inbound traffic coming, forming the conversations and conversions. Then there's going to be 30% instant outreach to aim for more of that. Okay, 10 times as much outreach. Well, you're going to wind up getting like at least double over all of this. You're going to get like double over from that. So you're going to be like 3 times the website profitability. Okay, so it's up to 7 times less expensive for each conversation, for each conversion, for each sell. 7 times less expensive. Imagine how much more competitive that makes you on a dollar basis. Dollars and cents, right? So therefore, you're going to have more new leads per month. So increasing sales volume with each passing month. Okay. That's cool. So let's fix your overall conversion ratio. You know, first thing, right? From 3 per 100 to 30 per 100. 10 times the leads, right? And by the way, for those saying, what's the guarantee? The guarantee is you're only paying per extra lead. Now, you're going to pay monthly, but we'll cover for that. We'll explain that. So over a few months, we drive your traffic higher, such as from 100 leads per day to 400 leads per day. So using this approach makes the highest and best use of your ongoing daily traffic without you needing to do anything differently. right? It's an increase of like 40 times the leads instead of just 4 times the leads, okay? In other words, we're going to drive your website higher in rank so it gets more traffic. And from that additional traffic, we're going to still be converting like 30% instead of just 3%. Okay. And we'll do this for a fraction of the cost that you would normally pay for SEO work that would only get you 4 times the leads. So that's a 10-fold increased benefit for a fraction of the normal monthly SEO cost. And yes, you can still keep your SEO guy if you wish, if you have one. Okay. Ready to review monthly pricing? Let's go for it. Package options. This works by monthly subscription as low as $250 a month. Okay. So if you do the math, that's like what? 300 visitors in a month or 10 per day. Again, most of you don't even know if you're getting 10 visitors a day, right? Because you might, if you got 10 visitors a day, then it would take like 10 days to get 3 contacts, sales or conversations going. A week and a half for 3. So for most people, getting 3 people talking to you, if it took you 10 days, it means you're having like 10 people a day come to your website. All right. So here it is. Simple monthly subscription pricing. $250 a month gets you up to 300 real-time retargeted leads per month. I'm saying up to. And if you're thinking, well, that changes the 84 cents per lead, no, I'm going to get into that. Okay. $500 a month gets you double. Okay, the prices are flat. Doesn't matter where you're paying. It's not meant to tease you up the hill. It's meant to be a flat, fair, exact ratio. Okay, so all these numbers, whatever you're paying, okay, is exact ratio. 84 cents per lead. It's really like 83.33 cents per lead, something like that. Okay, no contracts, cancel anytime, runs month to month, easily downgrade or upgrade to suit. No problem. Okay, this is not meant to stick you in a bind. This is meant where you can walk in, work your way up the ladder, and you can decide when to flip it on, flip it off, depending on who knows what. Maybe you just got so busy all of a sudden with 10 times as many leads or 3 times as many sales that you literally need to shut it down to catch up. All right, then you can come back later. So perhaps most importantly, at the end of each month, remember what I said? It said up to. Well, all unused credits are rolled into what? Additional marketing that we will do for your website through our referral website network so that we can automatically drive your keyword rank higher on Google for all those free clicks. So your website will get increasing free traffic each month. Okay? So what did that mean? That meant this. Say you only used like half of the leads you expected to use. Say you're at 500 a month and you only got about 300 real-time targeted leads. So you used about $250 worth of this value. That leaves $250 extra, right? Well, we're not going to waste it. We are going to use that $250. That's the unused credits that are rolled into additional marketing so we can drive your website rank higher, so you can get more free clicks, so that you can get more calls per day or whatever, more conversions per day. Okay, so all unused credit just means your website's not as strong as you want it to be yet. So it doesn't really matter where you start. If you were only getting 300 real-time retargeted leads, but you paid up here, I'm just drawing that for the extreme example. Okay, I mean, you could do this, it's fine. That's 1,500, it's 5 times as much. Well, if you only use 250 worth, that leaves 1,000 a month towards the website marketing that makes your website a lot more powerful. So you pick up a lot more of the slack in your area or from your market. You get a lot more of those guys in and you convert a lot more of them because, hey, the more traffic you get, we're going to multiply that figure. That's how you get to 4 times, 40 times over on your traffic and your sales. That's the point. Let us push it. So all you have to do is pick a subscription, choose from a few options, and start. Okay? Let's review the options. Choose a price point. There's 6 options we have. I'm showing you the first 3. Okay. There is a $125 a month option. This is just a rank booster for websites that are generally new. Like they don't get any leads. Okay. You don't have anyone calling you. Okay. You don't even know why. Maybe there are some people coming and leaving, but you don't know why. That's just too little. So what we're going to do is use all the credit to drive your website growth and achieve greater traffic. Okay. This is the best fit for small business with few competitors, with low competition keywords, in a non-web savvy industry, in just one metro area, maybe like a city and the surrounding towns. Okay. That's what this is good for. It's getting you going. Okay. As you start to grow, you're going to get more traffic, so you're probably going to want to upgrade your subscription. Okay. I mean, sooner or later, you're going to want to upgrade it because, again, even if they're not contacting you through the site, but our process is bringing them back, offering them the coupon, you'll start to get sales. Then we'll be thinking about, hey, what to do to your site to improve it so that people just start buying from the site more automatically anyway. Well, that's good. Okay. Now, what about this? $250 a month captures up to 300 real-time retargeted leads per month, right? That's what we were saying up here. $250 a month, up to 300 real-time retargeted leads per month. Okay. All unused credit is used to drive the website growth to achieve greater traffic. So you get more traffic next month. Sooner or later, you're going to be able to upgrade here. See, this is like working your way up in Monopoly, getting yourself one house, the more houses, getting yourself hotels, right? You're working your way up the ladder. So we're working on houses first. No houses, one or more houses, a bunch of houses, right? And this is the best fit for small business with few competitors, low competition keywords, non-web savvy industry, but multiple locations or nationwide sales, okay? This is good for that. Kind of niche, but multi-location, right? These things are labeled sensibly, okay? Multi-competition local, medium competition, local. That's $500 a month, capturing up to 600 real-time retargeted leads per month, all unused credit. Best for small to medium-sized businesses with some established competitors, medium competition keywords, somewhat web-savvy industry, one greater metro area. See where this is going? This is how this works. The bigger you go, the bigger we can go on your behalf. We can create more backlinks from more websites pointing in at you, and not just that, we can make more referral sites leading in at you, affiliate sites leading in at you, recommending you, selling on you, and we can even put the code snippets into those packages for you to drive more leads your way, even if they didn't get all the way to your website, even if they stopped on the backlink. It's an option. You can choose for that. Okay, so all unused credit is rolled into additional website marketing, and these are the finals. So yeah, you can just read on them, but as you can imagine, right? Medium competition, multi-locations. High competition, local business. High competition, multi-locations. Okay? You can choose whatever you want. This is just a guide, general concept. I've had guys ask, what's the difference between paying $500 a month and $1,000 a month in terms of backlinking? One's more expensive, but what's it mean? Well, here you go. We put this here so you can guide yourself on what feels like an appropriate fit for you. And again, it's okay if you overspend. If you overspend, unused credit goes into ranking your website higher so it gets more traffic, so you are wasting no money at all. What if you underspend, right? Well, then you're leaving money on the table. Not only are you getting more website growth, but you're not even getting all your leads. You're leaving money on the table. So, you can start wherever you want, but the higher you climb, the better you'll do, the faster you'll get there, the more money you'll make. Okay, so make sure to read through those 6 descriptions to see what best describes your website. We can read through 2 of them now, but I already did. So you understand niche, multi, medium, local. Okay, and these are the descriptions. And you understand what you're getting. Okay. Now let's review the rest of the sign-up options. These questions ensure that we handle your job the way you want it done. Okay. So there are going to be a few more things you got to fill out. Won't take long. And if you have any questions, just hover over the question marks, for information. But you're going to give us your email because obviously you want to update, you want to stay in contact. We got to mark down a contact for you. That's that. Your website to be marketed, whatever it is, yourdomain.com. Put something in there for your website. Doesn't really matter. You can put the HTTP or not. But if you put your website in there, we can match that with your email. It's just easy in our records to know who you are. Okay. What kind of leads are we talking about? And yeah, as you can imagine, we're going for business to consumer, right? You can put both just so we're aware. We do have some B2B options, but B2C is what this project is all about. If you do both, go ahead and mark both. Otherwise, mark B2C. Okay, select your traffic goal, right? Maximize current leads, maximize traffic growth, or balance between leads and growth. So maximizing current leads means that we're trying to use as much of your payment as possible towards leads first. And whatever's left over residually goes into traffic growth, okay, at the end of each month. Otherwise, we're maximizing traffic growth, which means you don't want to pay for leads. Maybe you want to use all the money you're getting right now, you're paying right now, not even for leads at all. Maybe you just want to use all that money specifically for growth. Okay, you can always contact us later and make changes to these things, and we'll work with you on the changes. It's not a problem. Okay, like I said, you can go up, down, sideways, right? This is here not to trap you, but to offer you the flexibility you need for your situation. Okay, balance between leads and growth. Sure, we'll go after the leads, and then whatever's left over, go after the growth. But we're aware that that's kind of the idea. So if you're paying more than you're getting in terms of calls, we're just aware that you're bouncing between leads and growth. So we're just aware that you really did want us to use all that extra money to grow your website traffic, which frankly is the right idea. I mean, it's really the best way to go. So email, website, B2C, balance between is typical. But it's up to you. Again, if you don't want leads, you just want growth, then just put maximize traffic growth. So it's usually one of those two. And then a program name, okay? Add the program name to get your bonuses, okay? So put insider leads. In this case, you're watching this video. This is for a certain batch of you. Put insider leads, okay? Having the program name means you're in the club. It's better than leaving it blank, okay? Because we understand how you're getting in here and we want to keep track of that. Okay, tracking, really important stuff. Okay, continuing, we're almost done. Okay, again, you can hover over the question marks if you're not sure, but preferred lead communication. How do you like to talk with your leads? Do you usually email with your leads? You reach out to them we're going to reach out to them by email anyway. But do you usually want them to contact you by email or phone, or both, or none? Okay. So even if it's sign up for an appointment by phone, just let us know. It helps us understand your welcome message and where we're sending people and what the best fit is for your needs. Okay. Now, real-time email load and response, right? Use our email autoresponder. That's free. Okay. Or do you want the leads to go in your own autoresponder, in which case we'll set the leads up to go into your autoresponder. Our system may not integrate with everyone's autoresponders, but it integrates with a lot of the major ones because the APIs are easy enough for us. But most of you are just going to use our email autoresponder anyway, because why not? It's just easier for us to control and less worry for you. It is your list of emails, okay? Your list. So even though we're running the autoresponder on your behalf, it's totally fine for you to let us do that. You can always ask for your leads or a copy of your leads sent to you weekly or whatever. It's not a problem. Okay. So if you're active and on a subscription, we'll work with you on that. That's no problem. Also, let us know if you don't want us to contact the leads at all, if you just want the lists. Remember, you could send the lists, you can make the list into a lookalike audience in your Facebook ads or something like that, right? Maybe you don't even want us to contact the leads, okay? By the way, can you do both? Yeah, you can use the email autoresponder. We'll run it, and we can still send you the leads once a week, so you can use them for Facebook ads, lookalike audience, or whatever you want. Some to your sales team or whatever you want. Okay, website promotion method. Okay. Typically, you'll choose the first option, right? And that's going to be this one, backlinks only, tier 2, or I'm sorry, fan affiliate referral websites, tier 1. That's the most common thing. But if you don't want that, like maybe you're a lawyer and you're kind of afraid that we'll talk in terms of what you offer in a way that doesn't fit. Because that's all we do. We say, hey, if you're looking for good A, B, or C, click here, that kind of thing, right? That's our website promotion is simply meant to get people who are looking for XYZ to you, okay? So if they're doing that, then they're kind of trying to say you, right? Now, if you don't want that, if you want to remain more or less anonymous, then we'll create backlinks only, which is tier 2. And what that generally means is it's not trying to sell you, it's just trying to show the search engines that your website deserves higher keyword rank. So in the first case, we're talking about human interaction, getting more humans who visit those promotions to see that they should come to you. This is anonymous. These are websites that link through to you without going out of their way to talk to humans in any real way. Okay? Or do you want an even mix, kind of some of this, some of that? It's not usually what people are going to choose. They're going to go all in one or the other, but it's totally up to you. And the reason we offer all three is because some of you guys are probably running businesses in ways that we're not aware. Okay? So we're just offering them, and we'll see what guys choose. But yeah, most of you will go this route. Some of you go this route. And what I can tell you is no matter what you choose here, one of the bonuses that you got by doing this right here, by putting that in the box, one of the bonuses you get is that we actually apply the same code snippet that you put on your website to these as well. So that puts literally hundreds more websites on notice. So that when anyone visits pages related to you on those websites, even if they don't come through to your website, we can capture those leads and offer your website like a partner. Okay? See the value of that? It's huge. You capture leads from everywhere. You can snatch them up. Anywhere they're coming that leads towards you, we're getting them. Okay? That's the value. Then obviously you're going to hit subscribe, which is going to allow you to choose PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. Okay? And when you hit this button, if you don't see what you're doing, just use guest checkout to pay with a credit or debit card, or log in to pay by PayPal. And when you use guest checkout, it may just say, hey, what's your email address? And just put in your email address for you, contact email. And then it gives you the option to pay with a credit or debit card. So don't let the page confuse you. Just go ahead and walk through and complete. Anytime you want to pause or stop a subscription, just contact us. We'll do it. You won't get the next charge. You can always start a new subscription anytime. And you can even have more than one subscription at a time. Why? Maybe you're doing $250 a month, and then things took off harder than you expected, and you said, okay, I want $500 a month. Well, you could just start another $250 a month aiming at the same website. You know what a cool thing is about that? Instead of pulling $500 a month from you all at once, it's splitting the costs up. Because if you started $250 a month on the second week of the month, and then by the next month you see what's going on, you might start $250 a month right away, or like the third week, So you can spread your payments across the month that way. See the value? And yet, in parallel, you're getting the same thing. It's just as though you were making a single payment, but you're making two. Now, what else? You could have different payments promoting different things. So you're welcome to do that. If you want to offer something through your affiliates or resellers, to get them on a plan, right? And offer them at a certain price point, whether you're making money from that or not, okay? Then you can do that. And you can just set up more subscriptions anytime for anybody, right? There you go. One last thing I want to make a note about. If you know in this program name that there's a certain reason why you want the link to go somewhere, you want all the links to go somewhere, you could put it here, but I wouldn't put it here. You might be thinking I should put it somewhere here, and the answer is no. When you're going to send us the welcome email, okay, the email that you want to contact the guys, then you'll just put your notes there about the page you want them to come to when they click the link, right? Don't worry, or the phone number to call. It'll be really obvious, and it'll be in that post follow-up, right after you start your subscription. So I've had some people ask, and the answer is don't worry. Once you get yourself going, then we've got to send you the code snippet and ask you for that welcome email and what page you want people to land on, and what, the phone number you'll put in your welcome email. You'll actually just build the welcome email that way. You'll just build the welcome email with the link you want to send people to, the phone number if you want them to call you, whatever it is. And fine, we'll take that and send that to your guys. And if you ever need to change that, just write us a new welcome email with whatever the changes are. Real quick, what makes the emails legal? The fact that the title of the email is going to be clear, okay? It won't just say, hey, friend, I haven't seen you in a while. There won't be anything like that. You can put the subject line down. It's just got to be relevant, okay? Looking for an RV? I mean, it can be anything. It can be direct or coincidental, but it's got to be pretty clear that it's an ad about something. And that's perfect because it's an ad about what they're looking for right now, so they're going to recognize it, which you want them to do. You want them to think, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm looking for an RV. What's this say? Click, right? The second thing, the body of the message is clear. And at the bottom, there's going to be your or a partner's. We can use ours if you don't want to use yours. Address at the bottom, company information. No problem. It can be yours or ours as a partner. And then finally, there's an unsubscribe link. If those three exist, then this is why it's legal for you to reach out to guys through that. Now, it's going to be one contact. If you want to get into an actual email autoresponder routine, what we're doing is trying to invite them to join your autoresponder or come back through you, and so on. Okay, so we're trying to do one nice contact to each guy, but you get to maintain that list, and legally you can reach out to them again and again and again. Okay. We'll talk about that further in, because obviously let's get this much set up and rolling and make sure your welcome message is doing its right thing. And if you have to make any changes to it, let's do that. That way you're good to go. As you can see, this will not take long. From the moment we put the code snippet on your site, we are capturing leads in real time and emailing them in real time. So your results should be happening same day or overnight. Okay? Anything that's not doing well, you'll realize it that fast, same day or overnight. So you'll be able to say, what should I say better, and write that, and then we'll use that in place. Okay? So we can update that welcome message. It's not a problem. All right. Now you have two options. The first option is do nothing and stick with your conversions. Just leave the money on the table for whatever reason. Second option is start a subscription today and get 84-cent leads that get contacted in real time on your behalf who were just on your website without working harder. When you start your subscription, we'll send you the code snippet to add to your website. Just add it and let us know. Also, you can send us the welcome or coincidence email that you want us to automatically reach out to your new leads with. See, this is a very, very simple process. Okay? We'll set up the autoresponder and give you direct access so you can test different messages to dial in maximum conversions. Program bonuses. Always got to be some kind of a bonus, right? Sign up today. Make sure to specify the program name so we recognize you for these. Bonus 1. We'll set you up with an account at StatCounter, if you want, for visitor tracking access. We'll do it by default. That way, part of the snippet that we sent you allows you to see stats on your visitors, where they're coming from, city and state, which pages they land on, what pages they went to next, whether they came on a desktop, a laptop, or a phone, right? Because we can see the monitor sizes. So you can see whether they're coming in on a large computer or a handheld device, a mobile, okay? Bonus 2, free site audit, okay? So we'll check out your site, basic SEO breakdown, and give you insider tips and tricks, okay? It's free, just so you can glance through it and see what things are easy to do to make your site stronger, okay? Bonus 3, keyword tracking reports, right? This uses a combination of Nightwatch and SpyFu. The idea is that we can help you develop a graph of increasing rank on keywords, important keywords, Okay. You can even help us choose those keywords if you have keywords that you care about, right? That way we can track your growth over time. So the higher you go on keywords, the higher your traffic starts to get. After you start your subscription, we'll reach out to you with a code snippet, ask for a simple welcome message to add to the autoresponder that will set up to contact your clients for you, and your new system can be live in 24 hours. During the first month, just to recap, we'll get you access to the autoresponder, access to Stack Hunter, access to Nightwatch, and create your free site audit report. We'll determine your unused credit to use for creating affiliate/fan backlinking websites that drive more traffic to your website. You'll rise higher on your keywords, and as you get more traffic, you'll want to increase your monthly subscription to keep up with the flood of new daily leads. How do you know when it's time? When you're using your budget up too soon. If you sign up for 600 leads per month and we get you 600 leads in the first 2 weeks, you're leaving money on the table, because what about the next 2 weeks, right? Now you're back to 3% conversions again instead of 30. Okay. And that was the presentation. So now you see how to triple your website profits in 1 week without doing anything differently. 10 times the leads, 3 times the profits. Now just 1 hour to set it all up. Okay. See the final slide? That's this one. Ready to start? Start your subscription at WMS by clicking the link here. Click here to become more profitable now. On behalf of WMS, thank you for your interest. We hope you got value from this presentation, and we can't wait to make your website more profitable. Once you start, you'll really enjoy the ease of this program. Okay.